10 News is sponsored by Premier Family of Dealerships. 10 About Town on WBIR starts now.
Hello, everyone, and a very Merry Christmas to you. I'm Brittany Bailey, and today we are looking back at some of our favorite stories from the past year that highlight the true spirit of the season. First up is a story from last May about foster care in East Tennessee. 10 News journalist Jillian Taylor looked at the system and those affected by it. And one of her stories was about a young lady named Alina Brooks, who entered foster care at the age of 13 and now is moving out on her own with a new job.
Starting a new job, graduating from her internship program, getting ready to move out of her foster house, Alina Brooks has a lot on her plate.
Now, how are you feeling?
Nervous and scared and happy, all between.
See, she's 21 and about to age out of foster care. She does extended care through youth villages, in a program designed to help young adults land on their feet.
When I turned 18, I chose to stay there for a reason. I knew if I leave, basically I would live with my parents. And I'd be stuck in a house that I never wanted to be in.
Brooks entered foster care at 13, after her home was deemed unsafe. She still remembers what she packed: 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts, 1 pair of shoes. She bounced through a few homes, and then landed in East Knoxville with the Flower family. That was 6 years ago. She remembers how her foster mom, Mia, welcomed her in.
And Mia said to me, like, I got you, trust me. And I said, okay. And I still trust her. And she's my mom.
This is where Brooks found stability, a place where she was safe enough to grow up slowly. She painted her room purple and got a pet bunny. And now, Brooks is about to launch. 3 weeks ago, she graduated from Project Surge, a Knox County Schools program that helps students with disabilities transition into the workforce.
Alina Brooks, come on up.
She remembers how nervous she was when she first signed up.
I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? I went to Mia, my mom, and she told me, just go ahead and do it, because it's going to help you. And it did, and I'm turned out a dietary aide.
A full-time dietary aide at Island Home Park Health. And next week, Brooks is moving into her own place. But she says she'll be visiting her family all the time.
But Mia's going to stay with me. She said, I'm not leaving you. And I said, I know you're not leaving me. I'm not leaving you. I told her there's only 3 spots you will ever find me: your house, my bedroom, outside, or here. That's 4.
This past September marked 1 year since the devastating flooding from Helene, and one area hit hard was Douglas Lake, where a worker found a treasure among the trash.
So we got a great day out here at Douglas. It's a sharp contrast from the first time I came out here.
Eric Asturias remembers that day clearly.
There were piles of just debris floating downstream. You couldn't drive the boat in a straight line. You'd have to swerve left, right, slow down.
The aftermath of Helene. On September 27th, remnants of the hurricane dumped a deluge of rain across the region. Douglas Lake rose 21 feet, sweeping up everything in its path and washing it downstream.
Oil drums, bottles, propane tanks. We found a cow.
Asturias and his team from TVA and other agencies were tasked with cleaning up the clogged waterway and shoreline. In all, 177,000 cubic yards of debris and 3,000 tons of man-made materials, enough to fill a football field rising 100 feet tall. Week after week, crews worked on the water and walked the banks, hauling out dump truck loads of trash. Then, 7 months in, a worker spotted something unusual, and so small, it's a wonder anyone found it.
One of our ground crews saw it on the ground, picked it up. As they were picking it up, they must have caught that there was a message in there. So they stopped, took it to a foreman, and then it got to us.
Inside a mud-covered plastic bottle, a prayer scribbled on a piece of paper.
To all the souls in the flood, merciful Father, hear our prayers and console us as we renew our faith in your Son, whom you raised from the dead, strengthened our hope that our departed brothers and sisters will share in resurrection, whose lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. This is Marty and Terry, October 2024.
Asturias says there's no telling where it came from, maybe North Carolina. But the words, signed by Marty and Terry, carried meaning.
I thank them for putting this message in the bottle and giving us the opportunity, setting it up so we could one day find it.
That simple message gave the team new purpose and an extra push.
And it wasn't just a project, it was something that really impacted the community, the entire region. So having it in our hands every day just kind of, again, just gave us that extra win to continue and see the mission through.
The TVA crew finished cleanup ahead of schedule. But Asturias says they carried away more than debris. They found a treasure in the midst of the trash.
In the face of something pretty devastating, hope and unity, love, definitely carry any, can help you carry through any of that and just get us to the place of just calm and peace again.
Well, this year marked 20 years since Hurricane Katrina, one of the worst storms ever to hit the United States. More than 1,800 people died because of that storm back on August 29, 2005, and the catastrophic floods, levee failures, and failed response that followed. Well, many of those who left the Gulf Coast found solace here in East Tennessee, and some of them stayed and made a new life. Here again is anchor Robin Wilhoit.
Walk us through this.
Framed pictures are Sean Folco's prized possessions. You'll find them scattered about.
So this is Jacob and I standing on this lot before when we decided this was it, and the house plans are in my hands.
That was December 2005. Mom and son on a plot of land in Sevier County, ready to rebuild their lives.
So the upper left where it says Deputy Sheriff St. Bernard Parish, my mother happened to be the first female officer in St. Bernard Parish.
4 months earlier, the two called St. Bernard Parish near New Orleans home. The pictures stir memories of a monster storm barreling toward the Gulf Coast.
So I'd get to my office and I open my laptop and I see this monster storm in the Gulf. And I thought, holy goodness, we really do have to go.
With only overnight bags and 2 dogs, they headed to Georgia to wait out Hurricane Katrina. On August 29, 2005, that small family realized they would not be returning home anytime soon.
And I remember waking up and seeing on the television, and I'm like rubbing my eyes, looking for my glasses, and it said 80% of New Orleans underwater.
The force of the water and wind wiped out the levees that protected the city. A chance phone call to a friend was a reality check.
He said, it's the entire parish is underwater. He said, there's nothing, you can't come back here.
Where's the light, Mike? Shine, in case there's a snake.
In early October 2005, Sean finally got the all clear to return home and captured the ruins on video.
There you go, snake living on Mike's tire.
She also found treasures.
How about this vase?
Oh my God, that's my mama's. It was like an old ghost town. Like, you'd hear the signs just going boom, boom, hitting, like business signs swinging. And no power anywhere, and it just looked like a nuclear bomb went off.
Oh, Lord.
And there was a big wooden sign that said, and they painted on it, "We will rebuild," and there was a cross. You choked up, sorry.
The Louisiana native faced a hard decision.
You had to choose your heart. Going back and rebuilding, and being committed to the community, kudos to them. But for me, I chose, my heart was to start over in, East Tennessee and just make a new life because I feared it would happen again.
With family in Sevier County, it was the natural place for them to land. They built a home on that plot of land and filled it, including a few pieces of their past that Katrina spared.
And I lost my mother 9 months before Hurricane Katrina, so this was a big, for me, it was huge to save this. And it stays on my fireplace mantle now in my bedroom.
20 years later, Jacob is grown with a family of his own. Sean is remarried. She works at a nonprofit that provides health care to people who can't afford it. This after wrapping up a long, successful career at a Knoxville public relations firm.
And I owe them a debt of gratitude for the life-changing experience that they afforded for myself and my son. I will forever hold them in my heart.
There's the car and the swimming pool.
Along with the lesson she learned the hard way from Katrina.
The material things can be replaced, but your life cannot be replaced. And the fact that God woke us up today. Whether we be in a campsite or in a hotel or motel, in our car, wherever we are, means we have purpose and we have a meaning.
In August of this year, Robin Wilhoit and John Becker both went back to the Gulf Coast to see how the town adopted by East Tennessee, Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, had rebuilt. You can watch those stories on WBIR.com and on our YouTube channel. Well, this year saw the brand new Covenant Health Park open in downtown Knoxville, bringing baseball back to town. And now, the Knoxville Smokies brought with them a familiar voice for fans of the franchise. We'll have more on that after this. And then later, this Labrador is a real retriever at Anderson County football games. We'll introduce you to Ella the dog as she paused for a well-deserved retirement. In April of 2025, the long-awaited Covenant Health Park opened to the public. The Knoxville Smokies moved back to town after decades in Kodak. That park is currently open for visitors for the Smokies Winter Wonderland Light Show, but come this spring, baseball will be back. And as Katie Inman shows us, a familiar voice will fill the bleachers.
Welcome back, fans, to America's friendliest ballpark, Smoky Stadium.
A familiar sound and name for fans of the Smokies.
Well, it makes me proud, actually.
George Yardley is the man behind the mic at baseball games and has been for over 25 years.
I'm just thankful to be above the infield grass.
Especially since the park's new Knoxville address feels like coming home.
It is, because I started about 6 blocks from here at Bill Meyer Stadium in 1998.
He's been there through it all. Bad seasons and getting big rings.
Yeah, what an experience, you know, and I've seen some great players come through our organization and other organizations also.
But this year is a whole new ball game for the season public address announcer.
Going to have to make some adjustments with regard to things that I used to say that have changed.
Like what?
Like Covenant Health Park, not Smoky Stadium.
And coming up with a new greeting.
Fans, it's baseball time in Knoxville.
His seat in the press box has switched up a bit.
Different angle, obviously a different view, but, you know, feels great.
Instead of behind home plate, he's on the first baseline.
And I can see here, because we always operate with the windows up, and there's no screen. So, and I've already told some of my coworkers, guys, we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled for foul balls because we're really a target area. So I may bring my glove.
New equipment may also prove to be a curveball.
I hate to admit it, but I'm really a little bit challenged technology-wise. I may have to have written instructions as well as a video.
But if you ask him if he likes the new digs, the answer is simple.
That I feel like I am in a major league ballpark because it's unreal. And it seems so big.
Even if there's still some work to do.
It'll be a beautiful venue. See, there we go. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Through all the new,
the game's not changed.
And neither has the sound through the speakers.
Fans, good night and good sports, and remember, good sports always recycle.
2025 was a bittersweet year for football fans in Anderson County. The high school's beloved chocolate lab, Ella, retrieved her last tee on the field. Here again is anchor Katie Inman with this dog that loves to fetch.
Ella, good girl. Here.
Even off the clock.
Good girl.
Ella has her eye on the prize.
On a Friday night, if I'm not petting her and loving on her, she knows she's there for a job.
That job is running out on the football field and retrieving the tee during Anderson County home games.
The most excited she gets is when she starts hearing those fireworks. She knows that that is her cue that she's on deck and ready to go get the tee, because every time we score, we shoot fireworks, and so she knows what that means.
She also knows what a certain smell means, too.
Her kryptonite is popcorn on the sideline, so if somebody's eating popcorn, she's gonna inch that way every time she gets the opportunity to.
For 7 years, Lance Freeman has shared his chocolate lab, and she has been a staple on the sidelines.
She has her own jersey, she has her own Twitter account. So yeah, she's a maverick.
With bling to prove it.
She was a senior her 4th year with that group of seniors in 22 that won a state championship. So that was pretty unique.
Most know the Ella under the Friday night lights. But at home, she's been a 5-star family dog for the last decade.
Oh yeah, definitely a part of the family, so, and hopefully for a lot longer.
A 5th birthday present for his daughter and a hunting buddy for Dad.
She's got to experience a lot in her 10 years. She still has a ton of drive. She just doesn't, her body doesn't quite keep up with the drive that she has.
Which is why this football season is her final one.
This Friday is an opportunity to celebrate her. As emotional, as it will be, it's an opportunity for her to go out on top.
The game against Alcoa is her last regular season home game.
She has a lot of muscle atrophy in her backside, and sitting on the sidelines for a 3 to 4 hour game, I can see that it's taxing for her.
Lance could tell. It's time to close the chapter, but not end the story.
It's pretty unique because I utilized Ella fetching the tee, going out and bringing it back, and I let May run alongside of her, so just creating some muscle memory there.
May is Ella's 2-year-old sister by blood, whose paws are stepping up to the tee next year.
She has big shoes to fill, that's for sure.
As Ella enters retirement, her eyes will change focus from fireworks to her favorite friend.
She won't know it's her last. Unfortunately, I will. But she'll be just as excited as she always is, and she'll do just as good as she's always done.
And Ella was a good luck charm for Anderson County. She helped the team beat the undefeated Alcoa Tornadoes 31-30 on October 31st. And of course, we wish her all the best. Lots of belly rubs and ear scratches in the future. A popular Blount County restaurant owner is back on his feet and hitting the road. Rocky's Jamaica Sunset serves up jerk chicken, mac and cheese, cabbage, and more. Now, it closed in 2023, and when we talked to the owners a year ago, they were raising money to reopen. 10 News Blount County reporter Libby Cunningham has more on Rocky's return.
This is what Rocky Williams and his family sees when you walk up to order from his new food truck, Rocky's Jamaica Sunset. We are going to take you inside because the beloved Blount County restaurant is back.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
The Williams family knows this place. They're used to getting ready to serve jerk chicken, green beans, cabbage, and other Jamaican classics right next door to the Easy Stop gas station on East Broadway in Maryville. It's where they had a restaurant for years. Now they're back with a twist. Rocky's Jamaica Sunset is now on wheels. It's a food truck, and it's been open for the past couple of weeks. They've been busy ever since.
Maryville people appreciate it because it's something different from every other thing. Different taste, different flavor.
It's been more than 20 years since Rocky opened his first restaurant in Maryville. It moved around a few times, then closed in 2023, just days after Christmas, due to rising business costs. East Tennesseans have missed Rocky since. The last time we talked to him, the community was raising money for its rebirth. This time, well, let's just say it's a good thing we got there early.
Because it's great. It's good. It's good. Everybody in the community loves Rocky's.
Rocky says it's been an honor to bring Jamaican food to America, but don't ask him to pick out a favorite.
It's hard to say because a lot of people love the ribs. The ribs is a big hit. Every time I got ribs, it's go fast.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Favorite Jamaican is the jerk chicken, red bean and rice, and cabbage.
From the mac and cheese, the red beans and rice, and the cabbage, I think we are going to be a little bit busy, and it's time to dig in. From Blount County, I'm Libby Cunningham.
Still to come, 2025 was a big year for one East Tennessee family. Really big. We'll have more on a baby who proved to be a true labor of love thanks to a scale-tipping birth weight. And then later, you'll meet dog lovers who found friendship at a local park. Some of them came from rough situations, but formed a unique bond. That story is coming up, but first, this short pause. A family in Lenore City is spending the first Christmas with a new baby. A big baby, really big. In fact, this baby was much bigger than expected. Mom delivered the little boy at Park West Hospital in Knoxville, and he weighed in at 13 pounds. Olivia Daigle has more on this whopper of a blessing.
They say big blessings come in small packages.
What is it?
For Kayla Jeffers and her fiance, Jordan Dobb.
He weighed 13 pounds, 3 ounces.
Not so much.
He was big throughout my whole pregnancy.
This is Kayla's third baby. Her others weighed in at around 8 and 9 pounds. Previous doctor's visits indicated this one would be a big baby.
My doctor was like, how much do you think he's gonna weigh? And I was like, 12.5 pounds, you know, because I just went before. And yeah, he was way over that.
Weston Payne was welcomed into the world on September 16th at Park West Hospital.
The doctor almost couldn't lift him out of the...
Yeah, she was like, he's so heavy, I can't get him up, because she lifted him over the drape to show him.
You'll understand when I say, when I looked and saw how big he was. He was huge.
His parents say he was quite the celebrity that day with hospital staff.
Before they clocked in, they came straight up and checked.
To our room, yeah.
And said that was the biggest baby that the hospital has seen.
And there's an added blessing. Weston is Kayla and Jordan's first baby together, joining their other 4 kids.
He's our first boy. We have all girls from 9 to 14.
Even though he's wearing 3 to 6 month old onesies and drinking a lot more milk.
He's a blessing for sure.
He is.
These parents wouldn't change a thing.
I guess don't be afraid to have a big baby. It's uncomfortable.
And what it entails with it, because he's been great so far.
Park West Hospital leaders told us at the time that they could not verify whether Weston was the biggest baby they'd ever seen, but they say it's a safe bet he's one of the biggest babies born this year. Up next, encephalitis robbed her of her memories, but it didn't take her determination. We'll update you on a local couple with a love story for the ages. And then later, as we remember our late colleague Bill Williams, you'll meet one of the thousands of people whose lives he touched. You'll hear how she was inspired by Bill to help pay it forward in a very special way. Right now at 4:30, it's a question that many Vol fans wrestle with. Can you have too much orange and white? Well, for one fan, the answer is absolutely not, and she has the home to prove it. Plus, at this dog park, the pup gets some exercise, and their humans make lifelong friends. We'll explain the unique mixture of bonding at this park with barks. Thanks so much for staying with us, everyone. I'm Brittany Bailey, and we certainly hope you are having a fantastic Christmas today. We are looking back at some of our favorite stories from the past year. And we begin with a story we brought you back in June about a Powell teenager who received an uplifting gift. 18-year-old Connor Hurst had been sleeping in his family's living room for 2 years. A brain injury left him paralyzed and unable to climb stairs. But this year, a local businessman stepped in to help. Anchor Heather Wallaga has this story.
Yeah. When we first met 18-year-old Connor Hurst, this is where he spent all his time. He hadn't slept in his own bed since 2023, when a sudden brain injury left Connor paralyzed and unable to get up the stairs.
I wasn't expecting the response that I did get.
After his mother shared Connor's story, he started touching hearts all over East Tennessee.
Someone that young to have their life stripped away from them. I mean, that's what it is.
Jerry Sellers owns Knoxville-based Marble City Elevator. He was so moved, he decided he had to help.
I want him to have his privacy. I want him to be in his room, because we all know that's where teenage boys want to live at, is their room.
So he reached out to Connor's family with a plan.
Jerry was bound and determined. He's like, I'm getting him back in his room. And I was like, okay. He's like, how do you feel about an elevator? I said, I guess.
Sellers teamed up with Variety, the children's charity, to make it happen. They designed a custom elevator running from the family's garage straight into Connor's bedroom.
So our idea was to take the center room and bring an elevator directly up in the center of the room.
After months of hard work, dozens of volunteer hours, and thousands of dollars in donations, the elevator was finally ready.
Oh my gosh!
Connor was back in his bedroom.
Just the fact that they would take their time, and it was a lot of time, to build this and come out and do this for Connor and us is just, I can't even put it into words. Like, it's just amazing.
Community has come together, and we have been able to get Connor back up into his room.
He's had a rough couple of years, and I just want something good to come his way.
Connor now spends much of his time right here in his own space, a familiar room where he can finally rest and relax.
Do that, everybody wants their own space and their own, you know, privacy, and so for him to have that again is really amazing. It means a whole lot, and especially to Connor.
Here we go.
A room that used to be out of reach.
Down you go, Connor.
Now a place where Connor can just be a teenager again.
How are you liking being in your new room? You love it?
In February of this year, we met up with a local couple whose love story enthralled us back in 1998.
Ronald, on this, our anniversary day, we will celebrate, rejoice, and not forget to pray.
Well, that was the year the Cupps renewed their wedding vows after encephalitis caused Phyllis to lose all memory of their original wedding and marriage. We caught up with this couple whose love story continues.
For 57 years, Ronald and Phyllis Cupp have lived as man and wife.
6 grandkids, 3 great-grandkids, 2 sons.
The fact that these two have made it well past their golden anniversary is already amazing, but even more so because Phyllis has no memory of them even getting married.
No, I had no memory.
Encephalitis robbed Phyllis of some of her most precious memories.
Over the years, it was reprogrammed. I stayed home from work for 4 months with her, and we'd just go over everything, telling her who her relatives and everything. And she's done really well, I think.
In 1998, the two decided to renew their vows for their 30th anniversary so that Phyllis could remember that ceremony.
It was just a very loving day for both of us, and we always enjoy it.
Ronald still doesn't leave Phyllis for long, and she still has trouble with her memory.
The hardest part that happens to me is I can meet someone and I can't remember them.
But the couple is reminded that taking a vow of in sickness and health is just as important now as it was the first 2 times they said them.
She's been as near a perfect wife as a man could ever ask for. She's definitely been a keeper.
He's here. He's been taking care of me, and he's my life. He's definitely my life.
Well, we certainly wish the Cupps and their family a very Merry Christmas. Of all the many rabid ball fans at Neyland Stadium, Corbin Lester stands out from the crowd, not just because of his enthusiasm, but because of that beard, his checkerboard beard. Andrew McClung has more on this fan's Big Orange tribute that gets a little hairy.
If you were at TNT Primary School in Claiborne County and General Neyland told you to run to the checkerboards, you would run to room 109, 4th grade teacher Corbin Lester's room, also known as
Checkerbeard.
A tradition that started in 2021 against Ole Miss. The same night Lane Kiffin had mustard thrown at him, Lester was thrown on TV for his beard.
It started as a joke, really, and I was going to the Ole Miss game, and one of the teachers that I used to work with, they said, "You should checker your beard," and we done it when we were leaving. I sent them a picture, and then after that game, it blew up.
And since then, every home SEC game, Corbin has the beard.
Now that, my friends, is impressive.
Start out with having to fix it and make sure it looks good, and then I put a piece behind it, spray it orange, and then I got a template that goes over top, and we put the white in.
Assistant Principal Blake Hopper says the school has embraced having a celebrity in their midst.
We were all impressed, just like this weekend when we saw him. I was sitting in my in-laws' living room. I said, oh, that's a teacher at my school. There he is back on the TV.
So famous that there was even a Dress Like Mr. Lester Day, beards and all.
I never thought it'd be that big, no. It was pretty great.
A pretty great tradition that will carry on, win or lose, until...
I guess until I'm too old to look like I should be doing this at the Vols games, I guess.
In Claiborne County, I'm Andrew McClung.
Another UT fan doesn't just wear her love for the Vols on her sleeve, she also has it all over her house. Emily Ray Cochran has more on this homeowner with an orange and white obsession.
I wear orange every day, and I've done that for the last 13 plus years.
Sarah Ferguson's world revolves around the orange and white.
And this is my closet to prove it.
From morning to night, you won't catch Sarah wearing any other colors.
Everything, even my pajamas. I don't go to bed without orange on. I don't want to be caught not supporting my Vols.
It's not just her closet that's coated in orange, but this, oh, and
my Tennessee car. The only thing that's not done is my living room, but that's because, you know, my husband, he thinks I have too much.
that is, at least for now.
I might probably have to wait till he's senile or something, I don't know. And this is Caden Cooper Mays. These are the first ones that autographed my car. And then Hendon Hooker, he put his yardage and touchdown.
Between 100+ autographs on her iconic Vols car.
And this is my horn.
To more than 1,000 pieces of memorabilia in her home. Sarah is the ultimate Vol for life.
2022 when we beat Alabama, I wasn't there, but I sure was watching it. Every year for my birthday, my bestie, Barbara Jean, gets me tickets. We go to the game. I clearly could cry every time I go in. It's just, it does something to your inside, I mean.
Whether it's in person or on TV, Sarah hasn't missed a game in 25 years. Not even on her wedding day.
We played Georgia that night. I told my husband, I said, we're just having punch and cake. That's it. And I said, we're not going to stand and chit-chat with all these people. We got to watch that ball game. I wasn't missing that.
And Mr. Ferguson, he had to be all in as well.
I'm not going to date or be married to an Alabama fan. That's not going to happen. Georgia fan, no, absolutely not. Florida fan, absolutely not.
It's clear, through the good, the bad, and even the ugly, Sarah stays loyal.
You love them or you hate them, and I love them. I don't hate them ever.
But she does draw the line with certain players.
This is where I burnt Nico's shirt.
Still, 2 big signatures remain on Sarah's wish list.
Philip Fulmer's autograph. I have never met him, and that is my goal, to meet him and Peyton Manning.
Sarah's not just a Vol in this lifetime.
They think I'm crazy.
But she's convinced she'll be one in the afterlife as well.
At my funeral, when my time comes, I'm having Chris Triss, Jabari Davis, Cooper Mays, them to carry me.
Carry your
casket. Now, I would be cremated if they would let them put me in fireworks and shoot me off the first touchdown Tennessee had. Because I'd rather go out with a bang.
Now, if that doesn't show her loyalty, nothing will. Because for Sarah Ferguson, it's not just about being a fan. It's her way of life.
After that story aired, Sarah Ferguson had the chance to make 2 wishes come true. Now, during Tennessee's homecoming game, she met Philip Fulmer. You see it here, but there was still one legendary VFL left on her list. Then Emily Ray Cochran surprised her with this.
You got Philip Fulmer's autograph. I want to tell you the real reason why we're here is to show you this. This is actually from Peyton Manning. It is a signed jersey from Peyton. He wanted to give this to you. Here you go.
Thank you. Are you serious?
He sent it to our station, and he wanted you to have it. He wanted to say something to you, personally. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hey Sarah, Peyton Manning. Hope you enjoy the jersey. Thanks for being a big fan and supporter of mine, and hope to have a chance to meet you someday. Enjoy. Go Vols.
That is the best surprise I've ever gotten. I'm sorry, but
it's okay. Let it all out. Let it all out.
I never thought this would happen.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Such a sweet moment, and we certainly know she's having a very orange and white Christmas today. Coming up next, you'll meet a veteran who isn't staying still. He's managed to summit one of the highest peaks in the Smokies. Not a few times, not dozens of times, but hundreds of times. That story is next. Today we're looking at stories from the past year that brightened our day, and we're straight from the heart. Now, one story was part of John Becker's ongoing Service and Sacrifice series. It involved a local veteran's 600th summit of Mount LeConte in the Smokies. And did we mention he's 81? Here's John with more.
One more than $5.99.
Larry Russell has nothing to prove on this hike.
I don't know if it's any different, but the number is different. If I make it today, it'll be number 600.
At age 81, he's already a legend on one of the most famous trails in the Great Smoky Mountains.
It's great. I'm thankful to be able to do a 600 hike with him. It's an honor.
But alongside his son, this scramble up Mount LeConte elevates the meaning of lifetime summit number 600.
Trying to shoot for my goal, I was doing it 3 to 4 times a week.
A little more than a year ago, at the age of 80, Larry Russell set out to hike Mount LeConte 80 times in 1 year. The signature peak in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park towers almost 6,600 feet. The round trip is 11 miles. Elevation gain is a steady hump at more than 2,700 feet.
I decided to try to hike my age. I got to 80 in September and decided, well, may as well go for 100.
Larry reached the age record 80 round trips by September, then hit 117 for the year, averaging close to 2 summits twice a week for a full year.
Before it's known, there's only 4 people that did 100 in a year.
But one of 4 who've done 100 times in 1 year.
Correct. And the oldest.
And the oldest.
When I did my 100th hike, my son went with me on that, so that was pretty neat. Yeah. I know I'm the oldest person to ever hike their age.
How does that feel to say?
You know, it's just
no big deal.
No big deal.
A military veteran, Larry joined during the war in Vietnam, served in Korea, and would go on to an almost 40-year career in law enforcement. And perhaps not surprisingly, at his department, helped usher in the first bicycle beat.
But I actually did my first hike when I moved up here in September of 2012 was my first hike.
After retiring a dozen years ago, Larry made it a mission to stay active, and his regular hiking partner Sandy says setting summit records is just so Larry.
So few people that can do what he's done. He's pretty amazing.
It takes the average hiker about 3 hours to reach the summit of Mount LeConte here. Larry has done it in half that time, 1 hour and 37 minutes. But he'll tell you, that was 2 years ago when he was still young. Back atop LeConte almost a year later, we didn't set any speed records at about 2 hours and 20 minutes, but we did take time to celebrate. Summit number 600 for Larry Legend.
I got down here and I got them behind it.
The moment captured by surprise chocolate cake, another classic photo, and shared by strangers, stunned by the feat.
My first hike was in 2012, so what is that? Almost 13.
What?
He's an inspiration for me to say, yes, I can do this no matter how old I am.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 81.
81. That's inspiring.
And familiar parting advice from Larry Legend dances across this iconic mountain peak he knows so well. If you've never been, go.
They say dogs are man's best friend, but even the humans need extra buddies now and then. One local group connects at a Knox County park where the owners share common bonds through their four-legged companions. Here's the story behind the Beverly Barkers.
Want to go to the park? Come on.
Ellie isn't quite as excited to go to the park.
On. Yeah. You ready?
As her owner, Peter Wolf.
We've got to have a treat before we jump in the car. There you go.
But they've got places to go and people and pets to see.
I mean, I'm basically starting my life over.
For 50 years of marriage, it was Peter and Julie. Then suddenly, it was just Peter.
It's not as often and not quite as painful as it was, you know, but I still have my moments.
Julie died a few years ago here at home, surrounded by her family.
Julie had always said, you know, if I go first, you should get married again, is what she said. And I said, no, I'll just get a dog. That was always the joke. Here we go. So I got the dog.
And on this warm summer day, there's nowhere Peter or Ellie would rather be.
I don't even know how to explain it, but it was just such a wonderful group, and everybody was so supportive and friendly, and you know, it just kind of morphed into a wonderful dog family.
That dog family is known as the Beverly Barkers. Rain or shine, this group meets here at Beverly Park nearly every day.
Okay, got it.
It's been a tradition since the park opened back in 2022. Julie Dawson and her dog Gunner were there that day.
Well, I don't know if I would be a leader, but I'm definitely an instigator and I like to bring people together.
And being together has become the point. While the doggos are tail wagging, the humans are tongue wagging in the best way possible.
Yeah, it's more than just showing up at the dog park. These people are my friends now.
I think we're really close. This is a really tight-knit group, so we celebrate the highs and lows.
And there have been plenty of lows in this group. Peter lost his wife. Andrea Penn lost her mom.
Any morning that I woke up sad or upset about it, you know, I'm coming here to the dog park to see my friends, and they're so comforting and so kind, and, you know, I don't know what I'd have done without them, honestly.
That's why she and her dog Rhodey are regulars. They're part of the morning Paw Patrol, where the dogs play fetch and their owners play catch-up.
Before I met this group, I was so alone. I had no one. I mean, I had a few friends, but, you know, no one close to me here. I don't have any family that lives here. And this group has meant everything to me.
And this group welcomes just about everyone. Well, except for maybe that doodle mix.
The doodle mix just arrived.
Oh, no. I'm not sure what the chemistry came from. But it's definitely here. And this is Lucky's girlfriend right here. This is Ellie.
Does Lucky know that?
He does. And Ellie knows it too.
Speaking of girlfriends,
we still look at each other and shake our heads. It's like, how did this happen?
Here at the park, Peter found Paula.
Well, I've been single for 18 years, almost 19 years, and he caught my attention because he's so kind. You know, he would bring people food or books that he read and things, and I said, that's about the kindest man I think I've ever seen.
They might be the first Beverly Barkers love match, at least of the human variety, but in this group, every dog has its day.
It's just been such a wonderful group of friends.
I agree. Yeah.
When we come back, we have a story that honors the life and legacy of our colleague, Bill Williams. Finally today, 2025 was a hard year for us here at Channel 10 as we lost 4 very treasured colleagues, including Bill Williams. He died back in August at the age of 91. And just a few weeks after his death, a local woman honored his memory in a special way.
Terry Teague says Bill Williams was more than an anchor. He's the reason she's alive today.
He saved my life when I was 8 years old by finding me my forever home.
Would you like to have a mama and daddy? Mm-hmm. How much would you like to have a mama and daddy? $100. $100 worth? That's a lot, isn't it?
And now she wants to help a puppy do the same.
I'm gonna find you a good home. Yes, we are.
She found a dog she calls Billiams on a morning drive.
He just started right out in the road in front of me, slammed on my brakes, jumped out, and he just hopped right in the truck.
Terry says she knows what it's like to feel abandoned.
Far too many people are discarding their animals on the side of the road or can't take care of them for whatever reason. And these little babies, they don't need to suffer. There's so many loving homes out there. We just have to find the right ones for them.
And staff at Young Williams Animal Center say this isn't the first case of abandonment they've seen.
This has been a hard year for abandonments. It's been a long summer of a lot of dogs found in a lot of different conditions.
That's why they try to offer as much help as they can.
We're constantly out in our community trying to educate them on how to best care for their animals, as well as trying to help provide resources.
As for Terry, she just wants to find a home for Billiams and to carry on the Monday's Child legacy.
As long as I'm living and anyone that knows me, they somehow know Bill Williams and the legacy that continues through me and the 1,000 other kids just like me that he helped find their homes for.
We are thrilled to share Billiams is starting the new year with the new family. Today at 5, we are looking back at the extraordinary life of anchor Bill Williams, as well as 3 other well-known faces in East Tennessee television: Margie Eisen, Edie Ellis, and Ken Schwall. Thanks so much for being with us. 10 News at 5 starts in just about 2 minutes.